Well, I have successfully talked about running a marathon. I would have to say for at least 5 years at this point. You know, it took something really special and meaningful to our family for me to actually get up the gumption to say, okay, I'm finally going to follow through on running a marathon. What that is the way that God has blessed our family with bringing my mother Vicky through surgery, through radiation, with brain cancer that she experienced. We want to thank you for the prayers, the concerns, the thoughts, the emails that people have sent to Vicky and to our family. What I started finding as I started doing research is there's not a lot of funding. There's not a lot of organizations doing what we need done. There is a company, it's an institute, a research firm in DC called Accelerated Brain Cancer Cure. They call themselves ABC2.
A lot of cancer research tends to be fairly conservative, frankly, which is quite unfortunate because patients on a daily basis really are waiting and struggling for new therapeutics to come online. So, we're out there pushing the envelope and really trying to get more weapons in the hands of doctors as soon as possible.
Yeah, I was excited about two things. One is kind of their snowball effect, right? An idea never launches if somebody doesn't start pushing it. And to me, it was them starting that snowball, pushing it down the hill to gain the momentum so someone else would jump on. And then tell me a little bit more about, you were talking about these volunteer doctors that you have. I think you said 25 or 30
Sure.
of them. How do you work with them?
So we bring together on an annual basis the best and the brightest from around the country. Not only brain cancer doctors, but we think we can learn a lot from cancer doctors in other spaces and researchers. So we even bring some physics professors even in to understand about the implications of physics and genomics in brain cancer work. So when we get a project, we have this great network, a proposal, and we have this great network of researchers whom we can reach out to and say, tell us what you think of this. Is this something we should fund? Should we move forward? And they really often give some great advice on how we can go back to the original person who proposed the project and say, well, we think this is a great idea, but we think you should make some changes here or there, or your research protocol would be improved. You might get better results if you do this or that. So we really are very fortunate to work with some very bright, capable people who really care about this space.
Our goal is to have 20 runners and raise over $25,000 for ABC2. I think that's a goal that we can hit. More importantly, it's one we need to. Brain cancer and cancer in general is not getting the funding that it needs. I went on and looked, and if you've ever been at a marathon or heard of one, there's races for leukemia, for MS, for all these other things which totally need the money. Yet, when we were impacted personally with brain cancer, I looked around, and it's just not there. There are not large corporations or charities or organizations dedicated specifically to brain cancer. I'm fearful that with the technology that we have, with everyone being on their cell phones, that this could be a growing epidemic, not only with possibly with how we eat today, and that's where we're seeing cancer, but more importantly with brain cancer itself. How are we exposing ourselves to low-level forms of radiation? Now, I'm not a fearmonger. As a real estate agent, I use my cell phone every day. However, I've gotten rid of Bluetooth. I'm using an iPhone now because it has a lower radiation level. There are things we can do to be proactive, just like you can be proactive when you're training, when you're eating correctly.
And all of the money, 100% of it, will go to research. So there will be no overhead costs, no admin. Every dollar raised will go to developing therapeutics, drugs, and helping find a cure for brain cancer.
Well, we appreciate that. That's
But
pretty awesome for a company to do that.
It's a pleasure, and I think we're going to learn a lot working with you, and I hope to have a lot of fun, and I hope my knee holds up for the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the exciting things, I know not everybody can run the marathon, and from you, we're hoping to actually, we just want your money. We want you to send in money. We're going to set up a dedicated page on ABC2's site so that you know, like he just mentioned, that everything that comes in is going to go straight to research.
But thank you for partnering with the Nellis Group, for partnering with ABC2, and making a difference in people's lives that have been affected with brain cancer and will be affected. they're depending on you, and so are we.